NCWLIFE Channel Sports is proud to bring you the following presentation.
In easily to score is Byer. Schooler comes out right behind him.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Abby's Pizza, Biosports Physical Therapy, Clean Connection, Coldwell Banker Cascade, Confluence Health, Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, Global Car Care, Harvest Valley Pest Control, Highlander Golf Course and Grill, Kennedy Real Estate Group, Les Schwab, Sangster Motors, Save Mart, and Together for Youth. Now, live coverage of high school sports on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE Channel.
Go, go, go!
And a pleasant good afternoon, and welcome to Dan White Field here on this Friday, the 21st of April, 2023. Along with Brandon Schmitten, I'm Eric Granstrom on the NCWLIFE Channel as we bring you the first of two games here this afternoon on the NCWLIFE Channel as the Cross River rivalry renewed. Say that 5 times fast. It is the Wenatchee Panthers and the Eastmont Wildcats here this afternoon on Dan White Field. The two teams played earlier this week, and it was a back-and-forth seesaw battle that saw a sack fly in the bottom of the seventh be the deciding run as Wenatchee was able to top Eastmont by a final of 6-5. We'll get you the lineups and get you ready for baseball coming up here in just a moment. Brandon Schmitten had a chance to attend the game at Rec Park the other night. And now talking with the coaching staff, of course, coaches are always a little more picky about things than we might be as fans. Talking with Josh Irvin, he says, I'm glad you didn't broadcast that game because it was kind of ugly. But you were there, so tell me what you saw on Tuesday.
I thought it was a good pitching duel between the two starters. Luke Gale came out and threw really well, and Skyleman came out and he had his first start of the year and came out and threw exceptionally well. He was hitting his spots all game long. And
now both the Skylemans pitched that game, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, because one finished, I thought.
Right.
I saw.
I believe it was Joe that came in and finished.
Okay.
And Levi started it. So, they just did a great job pitching it, and there was some crucial plays at the end of the game that didn't go Eastmont's way, but Wenatchee came through, and as I sent a text over to their coaching staff after the game and told them, hey, good win, way to be scrappy. And that's the way I would describe that game, as they were scrappy the whole way through.
Even your days coaching at Eastmont, it always seems to be that. No matter what the records are, we joke about, when these two teams get together, you can throw the record out the window. But it's really true, and scrappy really does. Of all the games I've broadcast, which is quite a few now over the years here on TV, between these two clubs, it always seems to be a scrappy game.
It is, yeah. And like you said, it's the crosstown rivals, which a lot of people from outside the area are like, I don't even know what the big deal is here. But when you grew up here and you played here, it's a big deal.
Well, and the teams, they've played youth rec ball, everything together, Babe Ruth and everything else. They've played with each other, against each other for their almost entire baseball lives.
Exactly, yeah. And then, like last summer, we had the summer ball teams that were playing together, so a lot of these kids played with each other and were competing with each other. So it's a good thing, but at the same time, they all know each other's tendencies. So,
well, and that's true too. And talk about that, the game within the game that goes on when you have pitchers that know guys and how they like to hit and where they like to hit and things like that, or vice versa, what a pitcher likes to throw in a certain count.
Right. Yeah, and even adjusting the outfielders to where guys have the biggest tendencies to hit. So there's some guys that are behind balls often, and so they'll adjust their outfield and make it where tendencies will show up.
Well, let's take a look at the starting lineups here for today's first game of the doubleheader as announced by their coaching staff. Our lineups brought to you by TC Slingers. Let TC Slingers save you time, money, and labor with their conveyor application. Call for your free estimate today at 509-885-2269. That's TC Slingers of Wenatchee, your landscape placement company. Well, let's start with the visitors. The Wenatchee Panthers, a record of 6-4 in Big Nine play, 6-7 overall, as announced by their head coach Josh Irvin. He's assisted by Mark Brownlee, Eric Kuntz and Neil Suffley, that is. Safley. There we go.
Yep.
Can't even read my own writing here. Batting first. Thankfully, we're not going to have that problem with the rains here like we did a couple of weeks ago. Well, I'll cross my fingers and knock on wood on that. Moses Cox will lead it off. He's a senior first baseman, batting .375. Batting second will be center fielder Ben Kennedy. Batting third, the catcher James Butler. Batting cleanup, and he is a person to reckon with as far as a .417 batting average. The junior playing second base, Connor Christensen. Batting fifth will be Evan Smith at third base. Batting sixth, Brock Toffness. The sophomore will be the DH here in Game 1 today. Matt Butler is playing in right field. He'll bat seventh. Joe Skyleman, as we talked about, the pitcher on the mound here for the Wenatchee Panthers. He's batting a $194, but Joe, like we talked about, scrappy. He's just scrappy. He comes from a scrappy family, and he'll have a part in this, that's for sure, especially getting the start on the mound. Batting in the 9 hole will be left fielder Thomas Ivey, being DH'd for here in this first game, at least to start anyway, the shortstop Ryan Branham. Meanwhile, for the Eastmont Wildcats, also a record of 6-4 in Big 9 play. They're 6-7 overall, as announced by their head coach, Darren Hoff. He's assisted by Kyle Dawkins and Jeffrey Gross and C.J. Waterman. Batting first will be the shortstop, Tice Llewellyn. Batting second will be center fielder, Valenti Barrios. Batting third, catcher, Jet Llewellyn. Batting fourth will be the third baseman, Michael Singleton. Batting fifth, Skylar Bryant in right field. Batting sixth will be the left fielder, Kellen Leonard. Batting seventh, the first baseman, Luke Gale. Batting eighth, the DH today is Kyle Smith. And batting ninth will be Carter Heimbigner. He is playing at second base. We talked about Ryan Skyleman getting the start, or Joe Skyleman, getting the start on the mound here for Wenatchee in the first game of our 2 today. Colin Babst will get the start for the Eastmont Wildcats. And this should, on the surface anyway, be a good matchup on the mound.
Yeah, definitely. Colin has come out and he's thrown very well for Eastmont this year, and Joe has been another guy that has a lot of experience, has pitched a lot in the past, and this year he's one of their main guys that they go to, and he's been pitching very well for them.
The umpires meeting with our coaches here today. I'll ask you this. Mm-hmm. What is the difference between a coach and a manager? In Major League Baseball, you talk about the head coach is the manager.
Right.
Here in high school levels, I call him a coach.
Yeah. Well,
you're a coach, right? It wasn't a manager.
Well, technically it is a manager.
Okay.
I would say it's a manager. As the head coach, I think you're going to be the manager because
you are managing everything, right?
Yeah,
right.
You're managing parents, and you're managing coaches, and you're managing players.
That.
Yeah.
The whole parental factor there. Definitely so. Well, we will take a break and get you ready for our first pitch coming up. We also didn't get the umpire name, so we'll see maybe if they can come join us here at the backstop. We are literally about, 15 feet to 20 feet away from home plate?
20 at the most.
Yeah, behind home plate here. So we got a great view of things, and thankfully, we're going to knock on wood, hazy sunshine and temperatures in the 50s as we get ready for our broadcast. Again, our starting lineups brought to you by TC Slingers. Let TC Slingers save you time, money, and labor with their conveyor application. Call for a free estimate at 509-885-2269. It's baseball here on the NCWLIFE Channel. We'll come back with your first pitch on the way right after this.
We were in Roseburg in the early 80s. Our oldest son, Dan, was a defensive back, a starter on that team. They in fact, became Oregon State champions, setting the first undefeated 14-0 season in Oregon's history. And a lot of people were losing jobs. Friends had left the community. It was a hard time. That football team and companies like Abby's kept that place alive and the community spirit alive. That's legendary.
Once again, here to Dan White Field as the lineup is being announced here in front of a small crowd gathered at Eastmont High School. We're adjacent to the football field, not too far from the high school here, as you see in some of our camera angles. Eastmont wearing the white uniforms, trimmed in their Columbia blue numbers, red hat, red undersleeves. Wenatchee in the visiting purple tops, black numbers trimmed in gold, and the light gray pants. We'll just take the anthem here. We do usually duck out for a commercial break during the anthem, but, you know, I mean, why not? Brandon was able to get our umpire names for us.
Got Dan.
Oh, here we go. Oh, they started it already. How about that? Okay. We have the anthem going on right now here at Dan White Field. Okay, there we go. Anthem in the books. And with the chopper going by during that, it almost seemed like we had a flyover here. And our paperwork tried to blow away a little bit. Little breeze blowing out to center field here. 328 down the lines, and you told me last time we were here. 378 out to center field. Along with Brandon Schmitten, I'm Eric Granstrom on the NCWLIFE Channel, and you were able to grab some numbers. How about for Colin Babst on the mound getting the start here for Eastmont?
This year he's got a 1.647 ERA with 17 innings pitched with 16 walks and 12 strikeouts. So he's been one of their better guys for him this year. That 1.647 ERA is not too shabby.
Good. Yeah, especially working with aluminum bats and things like that. You were telling us last time, too, about the change in the aluminum bats and what's allowed and things like that. It's It's really kind of made the game a little bit more fair, hasn't it?
It has, but a little bit less exciting.
Well, you don't have a home run every time you turn around.
Right.
Now, I was thinking about this, too. How many years ago was it that it was arbor-vitae, clear all over left field?
Junipers up there?
Yeah, beyond the left field wall.
That was probably
15 years?
No, I think it was probably a little over 10 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember that, and I remember ball sailing out there, and you never found them.
Never. Well, a former player and I walked out there when they were taking the shrubs out, and we got 10 buckets, 10 5-gallon buckets of baseballs.
How about that? All right, we're ready for baseball. Here today on the NCWLIFE Channel is Moses Cox will lead it off here for the Panthers, and the wind and delivery by Babst is on the way, and that's a strike on the outside corner, or did he say outside?
I think he may have said outside.
Okay,
there.
Ball one, and again, we don't have the scoreboard working here at the ballpark today except for runs, and so that also will affect our graphics on the screen that you're watching, so we apologize for that, but beyond our control. 1-1 the count here to Cox. Senior batting from the right side, swings and fouls this one away, and it's going to get out of play behind the dugout on the first base side here.
You know, that has there's a little cutout area over there, so some balls that may look like they're out of play actually are going to be a lot closer than what would normally think.
And the ditch is charged now, isn't it?
It
the irrigation canal running adjacent to the field here is full of water now. The 1-2 count here to Cox, and the pitch on the way is a curveball missing outside for ball two. 2-2 the count. Just underway here at Eastmont's Dan White Field. This is season, believe it or not, winding down here. This pitch swung and grounded through the hole into center field for a base hit. So a leadoff single for Cox, and Wenatchee with a runner aboard brings up the center fielder, Ben Kennedy.
Always a good way to start off the game with a base hit for you. Get the running game and the bunting game in order and see how it goes for you the rest of the day.
Well, and we'll see how Wenatchee tests the arms of both the pitcher on the mound, Colin Babst, on a throw over to first base, as well as Jet Llewellyn behind the plate. a bunt attempt here is fouled up the first baseline, and the count 0-1 on Ben Kennedy. So immediately trying to push somebody over and get on the board here quickly for Wenatchee.
Yeah, we saw a lot of that on Tuesday night. Both teams were putting the game in motion for sure. You're going to see a lot of bunts happening here because we know it's going to be a tight game.
Michael Singleton coming up from his third base position. Squaring the bunt again was Kennedy, but he'll take the pitch high and outside for a ball. 1-1 the count. As we talked about, little breeze blowing behind our backs here towards center field. I don't know if it'd have that much of an impact on a fly ball. We'll see as we progress here. 1-1 the count to Kennedy. We'll see if he squares the bunt again. Ooh, close play over the bag at first on a pickoff move by Babst. Luke Gale over there at first base. Defensive alignment here for Eastmont. 1-1 the count. The pitch swung on. Full swing this time. Popped up in the infield. Calling for it is Llewellyn. That's Tice Llewellyn who makes the catch for the out. So 1 out for Wenatchee. And that brings up the catcher, James Butler.
That wasn't exactly what coach was looking for there. Trying to get that bunt down, and then gave him the swing away and
got a good pitch to hit. He just swung under it.
Yeah.
Toss to the bag at first again. He is not in time. You were telling me something here before the ball game started for fans that are watching at home. I don't know if you could see it on the screen or not, but you know, the chalk that they put around home plate. With the batter's box, there's also a box for the catcher. And I didn't realize, tell us more about if a catcher is not in that catcher's box.
Yeah, so the catcher needs to have both feet inside the catcher's box at the time of the pitch, or else it's considered a balk. So much like it's unknown to a lot of people, but the catcher can actually have a balk called on him.
Interesting.
So.
Interesting. 1-0 the count here to Butler. Runner holds. The pitch swung on the ground to third. Chance for a double play. To second for one. They get the out there, but not in time on the relay back to first base.
It's good athleticism by Carter Heimbigner there just to get that one out. Running across over to second base on the run. Yeah.
So 5-4 on the putouts on Cox at second base. Butler aboard on a fielder's choice, and that'll bring up second baseman Connor Christensen. So Colin Babst.
That's the second baseman, number 15.
He's going to try to wiggle out of a little jam here in the first inning after giving up a leadoff single. With 2 down now, and the pitch is swung on and fouled back, and the count 0-1.
Now, I thought we had the hat situation figured out, but apparently not with Babst.
I heard him asking you about that in between the games last time.
He did, yes.
We had the hat falling off count, and I lost count at about 15. I'm sure it was way more than that. Tucker Wagner back in the van said, yeah, no, it was like every pitch.
I talked to his mom the next day, and she was not happy.
0-1 the count to Christensen in the right-handed batter's box. As Babst comes set, pitch to the plate, high for a ball. 1-1 the count.
We got a courtesy runner over there.
Yeah, I think that's why the umpire pointed at us.
Yeah.
Before we went to this next batter.
That's Owen Irvin.
Okay, so Irvin running for Butler at first base. And easily back in time before that soft toss over there by Babst. Yeah, hard to believe how the season's winding down. After the doubleheader today, both teams with just a handful of games left of the regular season.
Yeah, 6 games apiece, I think.
Yeah. Tossed to the bag again by Babst. Not in time. I mentioned Gale at first, Carter Heimbigner at second, Tice Llewellyn at short, Michael Singleton at third base. The defense around the infield. This pitch swung on and kind of a check swing that went into the air to right field. And right there is Skylar Bryant for the out. And that'll do it here for Wenatchee. And they're part of the first. They get a runner aboard with a base hit. They leave a man. We'll head to the bottom of the first. Scoreless here at Dan White Field. You're watching Big Nine Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? Open up a world of possibilities when you sell your home and make those dreams real. At ColdwellBanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home Compare cost of living city by city and learn more about our revolutionary seller's assurance program. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams. At ColdwellBanker.com.
I chose a career at Confluence Health because I wanted to help people, and I knew there would be opportunities for growth. I started as a medical assistant, but quickly advanced in my career. I received 5 promotions in only 7 years, 3 of those in management roles. Most organizations don't offer that type of growth. Now, as a career pathway coordinator, I let everyone know. Come join Confluence Health. Come grow with us.
Llewellyn, Valenti, Barrios, and Jet Llewellyn here in the top of or bottom of the first inning. Along with Brandon Schmitten, I'm Eric Granstrom on the NCWLIFE Channel. And Brandon, I was writing down names, and we got in the middle of the anthem for our umpires.
Yeah, we got
Dan Kulik.
Yep, Dan Kulik behind the plate and Nathan Hahn out in the field.
Okay. Thank you, sir. All right. And Joe Skyleman on the mound, right-hander getting the start here for the Panthers. Finishing his warm-up tosses. Brandon, we kind of got interrupted by a batted ball when you were talking about the catcher's box.
Yeah.
So they can have a portion of their foot in the box and still be considered in the box.
Correct.
Referring to the catcher.
The full foot needs to be out of it. Same thing with the batter's box, too. If a player takes a swing or is bunting and their whole foot is out of the box and they make contact with the ball, the bat makes contact with the ball, they'll be considered out.
Okay.
So.
Is that only if it's a fair ball, or is that any batted ball?
Any batted ball.
Okay.
Any contact with the bat.
All right. In the left-handed batter's box is Tice Llewellyn, and he'll take the first pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Good pitch there from Joe Skyleman. 0-1 the count to Llewellyn. Freshman in the leadoff spot here for Eastmont.
Yeah, that's a tough spot to be in as a freshman.
Swinging a miss here behind in the count 0-2.
Lead off and playing shortstop, and he's done a good job.
Well,
this
that
year.
just talks about his abilities.
Right.
I mean, that is fantastic for him.
Yeah.
0-2 pitch by Skyleman, misses outside for ball 1-2 the count. Again, for those watching on television, we do not have balls and strikes available for the scoreboard here. Little communication problem between the board itself and the scoreboard out in right field, which also means it's a little bit of a challenge for us in our scorebot. That's what it's called. It plugs into the scoreboard. So apologies for that. 1-2 the count here, and this pitch swung on and fouled back right to us, and the count evens here at 2-2 to Tice Llewellyn.
Yeah, we mentioned the last game about how many pitches Tice has seen this year, and he's leading the team in pitches seen, which is a great.
It's huge.
Yeah, especially as a leadoff guy.
Absolutely, absolutely. And giving everybody in the dugout a good look, too. This pitch swung on a hit hard, but right to a knee is Connor Christensen. His throw a little bit wide, but nice job by Moses Cox to keep a foot down on the bag. So a little adventuresome 4-3, but a put out nonetheless. 1 down for the Wildcats. Brings up Valenti Barrios, center fielder, a sophomore. So you got freshman, sophomore, your lead 2 batters.
Yeah, and if you go back to it, Valenti started as a freshman as well, and so did Jet Llewellyn. So 3 guys in a row that have started as freshmen.
I mean, that just shows you, and anybody that's watching that, has aspirations of playing varsity baseball sometime or whatever the sport may be. I mean, just if you're good and you show it, you'll get a chance.
Yeah. Yep. The one thing is, as you look at those 3 kids, all of them are well built.
Yeah, right.
So strength is a major thing that coaches are going to be looking for out of kids.
Get in the weight room, kids.
Yep. Get in the weight room. Eat your protein.
2-0 the count to Barrios here, and this pitch misses away for ball 3. Skyleman being careful with Valenti. Our broadcast here on the NCWLIFE Channel brought to you in part by Abby's Pizza. For more than 50 years, Abby's has proudly served the Northwest with toppings to the edge, 100% real cheese and freshly rolled dough. Make it an Abby's Pizza night tonight. 3-0 the count with a chorus of barks in the background. That means we're at Dan White Field. This pitch misses outside for a ball. And aboard with a 1-out walk is Barrios. That'll bring up catcher Jet Llewellyn. Here's another youngster for Eastmont that can play basically any place you put him, right?
Correct. Yeah, he can play shortstop. He can play third base. He can catch. He can play first base. He's got the wheels to play in the outfield.
As a coach, you just love having that utility knife basically available. First pitch is taken for a strike to Llewellyn. 0-1 the count.
He used to pitch when he was a little kid, and he threw hard, but came across some elbow issues. So
okay.
Can serve his arm for the field.
0-1 the count to Llewellyn here with a runner aboard at first and one down here in the bottom of the first, scoreless game. This pitch is a strike. Beautiful pitch here from Joe Skyleman. Not funny, too. You see that a lot in high school where pitcher can be just fabulous against a right-hander if he's a right-handed pitcher, but something in the head space about a left-handed batter just kind of raises havoc with him.
It does.
0-2 pitch here, misses low and away for ball one.
And, you know, watching the way that he's pitching right here, he's trying to establish that outside half of the plate. If you see, a lot of his misses are going to be outside. He threw the one down the middle here to Jet, but other than that, he's been throwing on the outside corner. And if they're trying to establish that to a lefty, you know, it's total opposite side of the plate. So you're 18 inches away. So that could be the difficulties there, too.
Little run and hit there as running from first base was Barrios. And a swing and a foul by Llewellyn. So the count remains at a ball and 2 strikes. Barrios holds. The pitch swung on and grounded to the shortstop. Underhand flip to second base. The relay to first is in time. Double play, 6-4-3. And that'll do it here for Eastmont in their part of the first. Get a man aboard on a walk, and he's wiped away on the double play. We'll head to the second inning scoreless. You're watching Big 9 Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you're calling on 35-plus years of experience in the Wenatchee Valley. Spending extra time in your home, you may have discovered an unwanted aroma. Stinky feet, pets, who knows what. Call Dick's today about installing their Train Clean Effects electronic air cleaner or a Rheem Halo ultraviolet air purifier. Either way, the air quality in your home will be improved. Proudly servicing all of North Central Washington, call 884-6444 today.
Hi, my car's making a funny noise.
Not a problem. We'll take care of you.
Global Car Care's technicians are ASE Master Techs and well-versed in the more refined methods of vehicular diagnostics.
Number 3 piston and rings have a slight loss of compression, down to 108 pounds. Your transmission is slipping. You're gonna need a service.
Looks like you all set.
These guys? They're good.
Oh, and your spare is flat.
Global Car Care, Wenatchee's top shop.
Here we go to the second frame. Evan Smith, Brock Toffness, and Matt Butler due up here for the Panthers. Wildcats and Panthers, the battle, what do they call it? The litter box?
Yeah, I like the battle of the bridge.
Yeah, battle of the bridge, yeah.
Now it's the bridge of sportsmanship.
Yes.
Be politically correct, right?
Right. What's funny is that when we talk about that, we don't use that. That's not our term. That is the athletic directors that encourage us to say the bridge of sportsmanship. And the fan base for both sides, they're like, no, it's the battle of the bridge. Yep. Don't try to tell me. Oh, so gotta love it.
Why go away from tradition?
That's right. That's right. Hey, by the way, Connor Christensen, he flew out to
P9.
Okay. Yep. Got it. Thank you. So here we go for Wenatchee as Evan Smith will lead it off. The senior batting .308 on the season. Hits one off the end of the bat to the second baseman over his Heimbigner to his right. And again, a low throw, but nice job by Luke Gale over there to field it and make the out. So 4-3 on the putout. Another ground ball out here for Wenatchee, and that'll bring up designated hitter Brock Toffness.
Yeah, that ball right there looked like it was we call that a cue ball. It's had so much spin on it.
A lot of English on it, that's for sure. That's where you appreciate natural grass on the infield because that'll dampen that quite a bit. Swing and a miss by Toffness on the first pitch to him. Here comes the 0-1. It's low and inside for a ball.
Brock came up with a big hit the other night in the game. Got a couple RBIs to put the Panthers ahead in, I believe it was the 5th or 6th inning. So
yeah, that was a back-and-forth ball game. Looked
it
like
was.
Eastmont got the lead early, and then Wenatchee came back, and then Eastmont came back and tied it in the top of the 7th. And
yeah.
Wenatchee is able to get the sac fly in the bottom of the 7th inning for the win. This pop-up into shallow right field coming in is Skylar Bryant. He'll make the catch for the out. So 2 up, 2 down for Wenatchee here in the second, brings up right fielder Matt Butler.
24, Matt Butler.
This is a guy that can kind of play with you a little bit because that ball, has a tendency to kind of blend in with this high cloud cover.
Yeah, and it's awful white when you look straight up, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Little gray on the corners, but.
Well, you're describing my hair.
Yeah, mine as well.
A little gray
clear
on the
up
top. Butler takes the second pitch for a strike, 1-1 to count, and this one's in the dirt outside. Good stop by Llewellyn. Count goes to 2-1 on Matt Butler. Again, Dan Kulik behind the plates, calling balls and strikes. This pitch is high for a ball, 3-1 to count. Two down here in the second. Scoreless ball game. Swinging a foul on a curveball. 3-2 the count. Looked like Butler a little fooled on that one.
Yeah, typically not a pitch that you're going to want to swing at on 3-1.
Especially 3-1. Yeah.
Right. It's going to be a pitch you want to drive somewhere, but Colin did a good job fooling him there.
Here comes the 3-2 pitch. It's. Oh. Or was that 2-2 pitch?
Must have been 2-2.
Okay.
So then that was a great job by Butler there to foul that pitch off.
Staying alive. Yeah, there you go. Something close. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. This pitch swung on and hit in the air, but Barrios is going to be in perfect position to field that one. And that'll do it here for Wenatchee. 3 up, 3 down in the second. To the bottom of the second we'll go scoreless. Big Nine Baseball. It's right here on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether,
we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine in style at Highlander Bar and Grill, located in East Wenatchee. Highlander Golf Course has added 2 state-of-the-art full-swing simulators. Food and drink service is available from our full-service bar and grill, offering breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Indoor and outdoor seating available. Call Shalane, our on-site coordinator, to schedule your special event.
Big Nine baseball coverage here on the NCWLIFE Channel, brought to you by Biosports Physical Therapy, Aqua Therapy, Sports Biomechanics, Orthopedic Physical Therapy, Orthotics, all you need to keep moving. Find them online at biosports.net, open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. My wife Marion went in earlier today. She's got torn meniscus and partial tear of her ACL and just kind of messed up knee. And she's been dealing with it, but she finally broke down. She hates needles with a passion, hates needles. And so she got a little injection today, so I'm hoping that she's feeling a little bit better in the knee right now. Michael Singleton starts it off here for Eastmont in the bottom of the second, facing Joe Skyleman on the mound. The first pitch swung on him, fouled back, and this one's out of play behind us, 0-1 the count. Appreciate you joining us here this afternoon on a decent Friday. Well, hey, this is 180 degrees different from what it was yesterday here for the Valley and in north central Washington. I felt like it was going to snow yesterday. That's how cold it was.
Yeah, and it was blowing.
Yeah. So I'm thankful for the weather we have today. That's for sure. Well, and a couple of weeks ago when we were here doing a broadcast, we got rained on.
Yeah.
Heavily.
Yes.
Thank God for the umbrella that
was a savior.
Brandon was able to pop up for us. 0-2 count. count to Singleton, and he's behind this one, but stays alive.
That's a little split finger or
yeah, you were saying as we
there.
came back from the commercial break that Skylerman's showing a little something different on the mound.
Yeah, that he had that split finger or knuckleball action on that ball right there, which you never know what's going to happen with the pitch as it comes in.
Well, and that's the challenge as a catcher, too. Here on a hop to Evan Smith. He'll throw over to the bag, and Moses Cox does a little dance step over there and finds the bag with his left foot and collects the out. 5-3 on the put out. 1 out here in the second.
Yeah, I'm not envious of catchers that have to catch a good knuckleball.
Well, and you don't see that much with the youngsters. I mean, that's got to be somebody in the family or something showing him that pitch.
Right. Yeah, and, you know, lots of kids will play with it, but they can't get the movement out of it.
Right.
But he showed a good movement out of his, I don't know, we're going to call that a split finger just because I can't see whether he's throwing an actual split finger or knuckleball with the umpire's stance here.
Skylar Bryant at the plate now, fouled the first one off, and the next pitch misses inside barely. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. I caught mostly through high school. I pitched a little bit, and I had a friend of the family, old codger, who played baseball back in his day. Swing and a miss here. Boy, that's a nasty pitch.
Yeah.
And he showed me the knuckle curve.
Mm-hmm.
And that took a long time to get a control of it. But, boy, when I could throw it, look out. It was something else.
Yeah.
But you got to have complete confidence in it, and you got to throw it hard.
Right.
1-2 pitch swung on and chopped over to the left side of the infield. Nice play over there by third baseman Evan Smith for the outs. Been a busy guy here in this frame. 2 down for Eastmont. It'll bring up left fielder Kellen Leonard.
Skyler made that play a lot closer than what Evan thought it was going to be. He hustled down the line on that.
Again, we talked about that. Scrappy.
Yes.
That's kind of our theme today.
Yep.
Leonard steps up, left fielder for the Wildcats. One of what, I think it's just 3 seniors in the lineup.
It is, yeah.
Here for Eastmont.
Yeah, and Kyle Smith's getting a start at DH today, so he'll be seeing his first at-bats this year. Just a great hard-working kid that played basketball. And
this pitch swung on a fouled away on the first base side, and the count even now to Leonard at 1 ball and 1 strike. I saw for a minute we had balls and strikes up on the scoreboard.
Oh, yep, it's working.
So it might be appearing on your screen at home with the graphics collected here on site. 1-1 the count here to Kellen Leonard with 2 down in the inning, and the pitch misses low for a ball. 2-1. Skylerman ready, and he tried to check his swing, couldn't check it, went through, says our home plate umpire. 2-2 count here on Leonard. And, yeah, fooled a little bit on that pitch.
Yeah, that was a good little curveball there.
Skylerman quickly working on the mound. The 2-2 pitch bounces in and past the catcher all the way to the backstop. So the count runs full to Leonard at 3-2. But, you know, as a pitcher, this is, you know, when there's nobody on base, latter part of the lineup, this is when you can kind of play with some pitches, right?
Right, yeah. Yeah, and a lot of coaches will say, hey, go right at them. But, you know, nowadays.
Well, if you have the repertoire to be able to throw different things, then why not?
Yeah.
3-2 pitch, swung on and missed, and that'll do it. So 3-up, 3-down story for Eastmont here in the second. To the third we go. Scoreless at Dan White Field. You're watching Big 9 Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
The agents of Kennedy Real Estate Group are committed to providing the ideal client experience. We believe in the power of relationships. Why? Because we don't just work here, we live here. From the nonprofits we serve, the parks where we play, and the local businesses we support, our team understands the value of living in the Wenatchee Valley. Let's begin your real estate story.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
During our spring tire sale, we watch out for your wallet too. Save up to $175 when you buy select tires with financing. Les Schwab Tires.
Joe Skyleman, Thomas Ivy, and Moses Cox due up here in the third for Wenatchee in a scoreless ball game. Eric Granstrom along with Brandon Schmitten here on the NCWLIFE Channel. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Clean Connection. Call Clean Connection to keep your carpet, upholstery, and air ducts clean for a healthier environment inside your home. Locally owned, find them at yourcleanconnection.com. Calm afternoon here at the ballpark. A little bit of a high haze. My dad would say the sunshine right now looks like looking at an onion through a gauze pad.
All right.
My dad has these sayings. Yeah. I was like, where did you come up with that? Well, look at the sun. It looks like an onion through a gauze pad. Okay, sure, Dad. Joe Skyleman steps up. First pitch bounces in for a ball, 1-0 the count as Colin Baps continues to throw here in the third frame. Scoreless so far. One hit in the ball game, and that was by our leadoff man, Moses Cox, back in the first. This pitch swung on, popped up right side, and incoming is Skylar Bryant, and he's been kind of a busy guy here.
Yeah, I was just going to say the same thing. That's 3 pop-ups for him.
One out here in the third, and that'll bring up left fielder Thomas Ivy.
Yeah, this goes back to the same conversation we were having against Moses Lake, where it's playoff caliber baseball here. Runs are at a premium.
Yeah, absolutely. Baps, of course, losing his hat on that follow through, and a strike call by our home plate umpire Dan Kulik. 0-1 to count to Ivy, back in and ready, and this pitch is in there for a strike as well. And while we had Skyleman throwing a bunch of junk in the last half inning, you've got Baps who's just throwing heat right now. 0-2 pitch. This one's high and inside. Look out. And the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, as a hitter right there, you almost want to just throw your shoulder into that.
Yeah, right.
Common
well,
sense
like you
says no.
Yeah, like you say, though. I mean, runners are going to be at the premium here. Swing and a miss by Ivy. That is the first strikeout of the game here for Bapst, and back to the top of the order for Wenatchee.
Number 17.
Oh, excuse me. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Moses Cox come up. It was very difficult. I took a phone photo. First pitch is taken for a strike by Cox here. Phone photo of the lineup, which was about 3 pages down on a carbon copy for for Coach Josh Irvin.
Yeah.
So it was very difficult to see. So I had him as number 11. He's number 17. So that was my confusion. Strike 2 to Cox. So Colin Baps trying to retire him in order again, and he does. How about that?
That was a good little pitch there, too.
We will head to the bottom of the third. Still looking for a run here, as it's Wenatchee and Eastmont. The Cross River see, I should have just left it where it was. The Cross River rivalry renewed. We'll come back with more right after this.
The newest generation of GMC Sierra pickups offer the most advanced technology, the strongest selection of powertrain, and everything else you need to work hard, play hard, and explore the boundaries of the Wenatchee Valley and beyond. Take a look at the latest, most luxurious and durable trucks on the market.
You will see why GMC is not your grandfather's pickup.
You want to bet, kid?
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Luke Gale, Kyle Smith, and Carter Heimbigner due up here in the third for the Wildcats in a scoreless ball game. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Coldwell Banker Cascade, encouraging you to leave your mark. Coldwell Banker Cascade is guiding you home in North Central Washington. Haven't even really talked about the defense in the outfield too much. Thomas Ivy out left, Ben Kennedy in center, Matt Butler in right here for the Panthers. And the first pitch of the inning is low for a ball to Luke Gale.
Yeah, everything's been an out in the infield for the Panthers except for that last strikeout that Joe had.
1-0 the count here to Gale. And high and inside on the next pitch, bending away from that one. 2-0 to Luke. Luke was on the mound, pitched well for Eastmont in the game on Tuesday night.
Yeah,
7-inning affair with Wenatchee coming out on top 6-5. Pitch misses inside for ball 3, so Eastmont close to getting a leadoff man aboard for the first time. It'd be only their second base runner in the ball game if they get him aboard.
Right. Yeah, Gale was another guy that played a lot of baseball when he was a freshman. He was up playing.
3-0 pitch taken all the way by Gale. Skyleman able to coax a strike. 3-1 the count now. And Skyleman's curveball. Boy, that's, you got to have confidence in your curveball.
Right.
Throw that on a 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss by Gale. Now the count runs full. Gale with a big smile on his face as he steps back in the right-handed batter's box.
What are you doing throwing me that for?
Pitcher versus pitcher here. Swung on and fouled away. Is a little bit late on that fastball. And you love that. We talked about it before the game started, about how these guys are familiar with each other, and have played with each other and against each other for a long time.
Right.
And you get this game of the minds on the mound. A swing and a miss here by Gale. And that was a nice fastball by Joe Skyleman. That's his second strikeout in a row going back to last inning, and that'll bring up the DH, Kyle Smith.
Number 3, Kyle Smith.
Smith, the senior, steps in the right-handed batter's box as Eastmont trying to figure out Joe Skyleman here.
Yeah, he's got his stuff working.
Yeah, he does. This pitch misses just low, not by much, not by much. 1-0 the count to Smith here with Carter Heimbigner waiting on deck. After that walk back in the first, it's been lights out for Skyleman since. Pitch here is across the knees for a strike, as he's retired 5 in a row now.
Yeah, and he got a little bit
6 you figure the double play.
Yeah, the double play.
Right.
Yeah.
1-1 the count to Smith. This curveball misses low.
He's getting that pitch dialed in a little bit too.
Yes. Moses Lake atop the Big Nine standings at 9-1 coming into the weekend. This pitch misses just outside for a ball. 3-1 the count. Moses is 11-2 overall, kind of dominating right now. West Valley second place in the Big Nine at 8-2. 3-1 pitch is a strike.
Yeah, West Valley has a couple guys going to play D1 baseball, a couple left-handed pitchers, and Moses Lake, we saw him throw in the game here, Gensinger, and he's going to Gonzaga to play.
Ball hit back over the mound and over the second base bag, and not a chance for Connor Christensen, so an infield single here for Kyle Smith is the first hit of the ball game for Eastmont. And back to the top of the order, or no, excuse me, number 9 batter coming up, Carter Heimbigner. You talked about that too, where you put your 9 and your 1 in a position where you've got some guy with speed and a guy that can get on base in your number 9 hole.
Right, and right now Carter's batting .444 on the year, so that's a great weapon to have.
This pitch swung on and a well-hit ball to center field, but backing up just a tad is Ben Kennedy. And so he'll make the out there for the second out as Kyle Smith will trot back to the bag at first. And back to the top of the order here for shortstop Tice Llewellyn.
Yeah, to have a guy that's batting that high, he's going to get on base a lot, and he'll be able to steal for you because he's fast.
Well, that's nice to be able to flop your order around like
right.
that. Runner from first goes. The throw down to second base is off the mark. It will skip out into center field, and holding at second after the stolen base will be Kyle Smith. That was a good pitch to steal on. It was a curveball and a little low for James Butler to try to dig out and then toss down to second base. So Eastmont with their first chance with a runner in scoring position. Pitch misses away for ball 2.
Yeah, he's really trying to hit that outside corner, isn't he?
Yeah. Yep. Well, and probably has familiarity with the freshman at the plate here. This pitch is in there for a strike, and the count goes to 2-1. That, well, you talked about seeing a lot of balls, and Tice looks to me, just, you know, having seen him just a couple of times now, kind of hit the ball wherever it's pitched. And
yeah.
Like there, he does, but he lifts it into the air to left field, and Thomas Ivy will take care of that one, and that'll do it here for Eastmont. They're part of the third. They get their first runner via a base hit. They leave him stranded. We will head to the fourth inning of play. Still scoreless here at Dan White Field. You're watching Big Nine Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Hey, man. How's your arm?
Getting better, actually, thanks.
Did they give you anything for pain after surgery? Because I think I may have some left over.
Nah, that's all right, man. Actually, me and my doctor talked about not sharing prescriptions, and that ibuprofen is a good option for me. The risk of addiction is not worth it.
Makes sense.
Take the next step. Don't share your prescriptions, and talk to your friends about the dangers of opioids.
We were in Roseburg in the early 80s. Our oldest son, Dan, was a defensive back, a starter on that team. They set, in fact, became Oregon State champions, setting the first undefeated 14-0 season in Oregon's history. And our kids still talk about that. I go back now, too, and I think about all those great days and great times. The neat thing is that we can go back in today and still enjoy the same quality food that we enjoyed 50 years ago. That's legendary.
Big Nine Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel, brought to you in part by Confluence Health. High-quality care close to home. Confluence Health is dedicated to improving their patients' health with safe, high-quality care in 12 communities. To the fourth we go. Ben Kennedy, James Butler, and Connor Christensen, 2, 3, and 4 batters, due up here for Wenatchee in what's turning out to be a pitcher's duel this afternoon. And the first pitch here is in the dirt outside for a ball. 1-0 the count. 1 hit per side, and that is it for both ball clubs.
Well pitched, and defense is playing very well for both squads.
Colin Baps misses low and inside here for ball 2, 2-0. Kennedy came up with the first and popped out to the shortstop. The 2-0 pitch is swung on and fouled away, and Kennedy takes a kind of a limping step out of the left-handed or the right-handed batter's box. 2-1 the count here to Ben. Talked about 3 seniors in the lineup for Eastmont, 3 seniors in the lineup for Wenatchee as well. This pitch swung on a hit well, but on a diving play, the ball is diving down into the glove, nestled nicely by Kellen Leonard out there. And I thought that had maybe extra base hit written all over it, but it just kind of died.
Yeah, it did die on him right there. And Kellen got a good read on that and was positioned well before the play too. So
that's where home field advantage really plays a difference. If you're used to playing at this park and this is where you practice all the time, then a ball off the bat, you see it because you're used to it.
Right. Yeah, that's very true. And knowing exactly where you're standing on a field too. So
sure.
It's just visually it feels different on one field compared to another one.
And here's Kellen Leonard again making a nice play out in left field on a line drive out by James Butler. So 2 down here in the fourth. And that'll bring up second baseman Connor Christensen.
That's 2 well-hit balls in a row there.
Yeah, right on the button. But Kellen Leonard out there positioned perfectly in left field. So Christensen steps up. He flew out to right in his first at bat, and the first pitch here misses outside for ball 1, 1-0 the count. Pitch went behind Connor Christensen, made him dance and made me dance as well because it hit the board behind the home plate right in front of us. Count goes to 2-0 on Connor Christensen.
He's getting a little bit of flack from his teammates. Hey, wear that. It went behind me.
Didn't have a chance. That fastball zinged right behind him. This pitch is low and outside for a ball. 3-0 the count. Well, Colin Bapp so far has been able to get through the game without a walk, but has gone 3-0 here to Connor Christensen. This pitch is a strike on the inside corner. 3-1 the count.
Connor's their best hitter this year, batting .417.
Pitch swung on and on a line drive. Oh, dropped by the shortstop. Throw to first. It's in time. Nice job by Tice Llewellyn to stay with it on a line drive that came right to him. 6-3 on the putout, and a 1-2-3 story again here in the fourth. To the bottom of the fourth we go. Still looking for a run. It's Eastmont. It's Wenatchee. It's on the NCWLIFE Channel.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? Open up a world of possibilities when you sell your home and make those dreams real. At ColdwellBanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home, compare cost of living city by city, and learn more about our revolutionary seller's assurance program. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams. At ColdwellBanker.com.
Valente Barrios, Jet Llewellyn, and Michael Singleton do up here for Eastmont, and they're part of the fourth in a scoreless ball game. Appreciate you joining us on the NCWLIFE Channel, on our stream on Facebook, as well as our rebroadcast here on TV tonight, along with Brandon Schmitten. I'm Eric Granstrom as we are in the fourth and still scoreless. Joe Skyleman up on the mound, ready to deliver the first pitch to Valente Barrios, and he'll take it for a strike. 0-1 to count. Barrios got aboard back in his first at-bat with a walk on a 4-pitch walk. 0-1 to count to him here as he's the leadoff man in the fourth. This pitch swung on, popped up, and foul, and out of play, and the count 0-2 quickly on Barrios.
Yeah, Joe's really dialed in after that because he had trouble with Tice. Tice saw a lot of pitches in that first inning, and then Valente obviously walked on 4, but he's dialed in now.
0-2 pitch is that knuckle curve. Oh, man. We got a good look at it that time with a left-handed batter up there. And what do you do with that? Strikeout-looking Barrios. Yeah, exactly. Just, you know. And Skyler out there on the mound with a big old cheesy grin on his face, knowing that, yeah, he's got that pitch kind of dialed in right now.
Yeah.
One down here in the fourth as Jet Llewellyn will step up. He hit into a double play to end the threat in the first. First pitch misses low and away for a ball. Skyleman getting the sign from his catcher, James Butler, and the 1-0 pitch on the way. Swung on and lifted foul and out of play. And the count even now to Llewellyn, a 1-1 strike.
Jet wanted that pitch right there, didn't he?
Yes, he did. You can tell by the look on his face afterwards, kind of like, oh, that was the one I wanted. And that kind of hung up for him, too.
It did.
1-1 to count here to Llewellyn. This pitch low and away for a ball. 2-1. You kind of see a theme developing here for Skyleman, too. At least in this at-bat where he's going fast and away or slow and in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's also mixing in his off-speed pitches a lot more as we've gone on in the game.
This pitch misses just low. It was across but low. 3-1 to count.
He was primarily fastball, I would say, in the first 6 hitters, and now I'm seeing a lot more off-speed
stuff mixed in. Absolutely. 3-1 count to Llewellyn here. And a swing and a chopper to the shortstop. Branham is there. He'll field and throw. And cleanly in time for the out. 2 down here in the fourth. Brings up the third baseman, Michael Singleton.
Speaking of freshmen, got a freshman starting at shortstop for them as well.
Yeah.
So 2 freshmen starting on a 4A doubleheader. That's pretty good at shortstop.
Absolutely. So 2 down here for Eastmont as Singleton steps up. He grounded out to third in his first at bat. The first pitch to him here misses low for ball 1.
And you look out there, you don't think freshman when you look at that kid.
No, right. I mean, usually, you know, the typical freshman is kind of gangly, kind of out of control. You know, they're still growing. They're still trying to get used to their body. But, you know, they're starting on the varsity for a reason.
Yes, yes.
Singleton fouls the next pitch away, so the count even now. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Michael's been hitting the ball extremely well this year. He's batting .528 right now, which is extremely high for
yeah, not too bad
for any level of baseball.
Yeah. 1-1. The pitch here is a strike on the outside corner, off speed. 1-2. Singleton didn't agree with our home plate umpire maybe on that call. Stays in the right-handed batter's box. 2 down here in the 4th inning. Nobody aboard in a scoreless contest. And the 1-2 pitch from Skylerman swung on and hit hard, but on a hop high. Third baseman juggles it. Evan Smith not going to get the throw over in time. So that's going to go down probably as an error on the third baseman.
I would agree with you on that.
As Evan Smith had the ball come up, it probably surprised him a little bit with that hop off the grass on the cut of the grass. And then he had it, but then somehow it got out of his glove, and then by the time he scrambled for it, couldn't make the throw in time.
Yeah, and that's the difference definitely between Tuesday's game and today's game is we played over on the artificial turf where every hop is about as true as you can get. Right. And then you come over here and you get reality for high school sports.
Yeah. Toss to the bag at first to keep an eye on Singleton over there is Joe Skylerman. 1-0 the count to Skylar Bryant, who's 0 for 1 with a ground out to third. Evan Smith has had a pretty busy game here. This pitch swung on, hit well, deep center field, and it is all the way to the fence. So that error is going to prove awfully costly here as motoring home to score is Michael Singleton on the double by Skylar Bryant. It's 1-0 Eastmont.
Yeah, errors always come back to bite you, don't they?
So the first run in is an unearned run here off of Joe Skylerman. Out at second base is Skylar Bryant, and that was a poke. That'll bring up left fielder Kellen Leonard now with 2 down, 1 in, runner in scoring position. Pitch by Skylerman, swung on a miss, and the count 0-1 here on Kellen. He's 0 for 1. He struck out swinging to end the second.
He had a little bit more juice on that ball.
He
right
did.
There.
This pitch swung on it, chopped up the third baseline. That's going to go foul. And I think Wenatchee breathing a sigh of relief that had some English on it to go foul, because there was no way they're going to make a play on that ball.
No, Kellen was going to be standing up easily at first base after that.
So Leonard comes back and collects the bat from James Butler, the catcher for Wenatchee. Good sportsmanship there. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, going back to the fields, unfortunately for high schools and even most colleges, they don't have a field crew that comes out here and does the work. It's coaches and players that do the work. So definitely not like your Major League Baseball fields.
Yeah, no, not like you see on the TV with the Mariners at T-Mobile Park.
Right.
That's for sure. Well, and we talked about home field advantage and about Eastmont. This is their home field. And we were talking about that as far as Kellen in left field and making a couple of great plays. That also is true in the field itself and being used to running and having little scuffs of turf here and there and little rises and falls and holes and dips and things like that.
Oh, he struck him out.
Oh, my. Fast ball there. And gone looking is Kellen Leonard, and that'll do it. But not before Eastmont gets a run on a hit and an error, and 1 man left. We'll head to the 5th inning of play. It's a 1-0 ball game suddenly. Eastmont on top. You're watching Big 9 Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
I had a seizure in the middle of the night, and they rushed me to the hospital and decided to induce labor to try to get the baby out. The outpouring of love and support I got from Confluence Health. My coworkers coming to the ICU to be with me. For me, it's the work family. It's just incredible to have support no matter what I'm going through in my personal life, my own health.
When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the diagnostic doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units.
So Evan Smith leads it off here in the 5th inning, and the first pitch to him is swung on a grounded to the shortstop. Over to his right is Llewellyn, and to his left it is. And the throw pulls the first baseman Luke Gale off the bag. We've seen a few here in this game so far where Luke has had a little bit of a challenge over there at the bag, and this time it is a throw a little wide. So a leadoff man aboard here for Wenatchee for the second time here this afternoon.
See if they'll be sacking here.
Brock Toughness at the plate. Meanwhile, diving back to the bag is Smith on the throw over there by Colin Babst.
He didn't really show sack on that, but this would be a situation where I could see that they would be bunting.
And the bunt is off in front of the plate to out to field it. A little high on the throw, and the ball knocked away here. We'll see what the call is by the umpire. They're going to say that that is an out. Meanwhile, rounding third and coming home is the runner, but they're going to back it all up here and put the runner back at second base, I believe. As running up the first baseline was Toughness, and I think he batted the ball with a hand as it was in the glove of first baseman Luke Gale.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I saw him just hustling down the line. Fortunately for Eastmont, it was called out, and the umpires are in a much better position than us.
Yeah. Well, it seemed odd on the throw by Llewellyn to Gale. He had the ball already a couple of steps in front of the runner, went to make the tag, and then suddenly the ball comes flying out.
Yeah.
This pitch swung on a hit foul down the left field line. Long run, but for Singleton, and that ball started to curve back towards the field of play, but nobody able to make the play there. So a strike here on Matt Butler. So one out officially in the inning. Evan Smith down at second base, and an 0-1 count here on Matt Butler. Wenatchee trying to come back after giving up a run in the bottom of the 4th. A swing and a miss here, and a count 0-2 on Butler.
That was a long way to run for both Michael and Kellen on that.
Colin Babst is ready, and here comes the right-hander's 0-2 pitch. It's a little low. And the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes.
Again, the umpire is a lot closer to the play than we are on that one.
Although we're, 17 feet behind here in our backstop location. 1-2 the count to Butler. And a pitch swung on, and this could be trouble. Backing up. Nice play by Luke Gale. The first baseman had to beat feet backwards and to his right and is able to make the catch for the out.
Again, as we've talked about before, first baseman is no longer your guy that's just going to sit out there and lumber. They've got to be athletic, and Gale is definitely an athlete, starting quarterback for the last 3 years for the Wildcats. And
curveball into Joe Skyleman is a strike. As you have a meeting of the minds again here, pitcher versus pitcher. And the 0-1 pitch is inside, missing with a fastball. 1-1 the count. You saw with Skyleman on the mound and Babst at the plate, and kind of the chagrin on the face earlier. So now Skyleman up there, the 1-1 count to him with a runner at second. Pitch swung on and hit in the air, and a long run for Kellen Leonard. He'll make the catch for the out, and that'll do it. So the Panthers put aside here despite the leadoff error. They leave a man. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th, 1-0 Eastmont over Wenatchee here on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Hi, my car's making a funny noise.
Not a problem. We'll take care of you.
Global Car Care's technicians are ASE Master Techs and well-versed in the more refined methods of vehicular diagnostics.
Number 3 piston and rings have a slight loss of compression, down to 108 pounds. Your transmission is slipping. You're gonna need a service.
Looks like you all set.
These guys? They're good.
Oh, and your spare is flat.
Global Car Care, Wenatchee's top shop.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets. Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether.
We provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Bottom of the order due up for Eastmont here in the 5th inning. Luke Gale, Kyle Smith, and Carter Heimbigner. And Brandon Schmitten and I were just talking during the break that, boy, the difference in errors. An error comes around to score for Eastmont in their part of the 4th inning. An error to lead off the 5th doesn't hurt Eastmont defensively. So,
right.
I mean, that's a huge part of this game right now.
Yeah, you got to take advantage of any opportunity you have, and that was a great opportunity. Unfortunate play for Wenatchee with the call down there at first base, but.
So Luke Gale steps up. First pitch to him, swung on a chop back over the mound, and a nice sprawling play by the shortstop Branham, but no throw. So an infield single here for Gale will be the second, make that third hit of the ball game for Eastmont. And the Wildcats have a leadoff man aboard, brings up the DH, Kyle Smith.
And, you know, even though Brock was called out on that play down there, he still executed.
Right.
You know, the runner was got to second base as he was hoping for. So
squaring to bunt, pushing it up the third baseline, and a fair ball. Third baseman will field and throw wide, and everybody's safe. In fact, will they score a run here? Rounding third and heading for home is Luke Gale, the right fielder, finally coming up with a baseball. Up against the fence in no man's land over there, and a run will score on the air.
Yeah, great bunt there by Kyle, and had the unfortunate throw there by Evan up the line, and Eastmont was able to capitalize.
So Kyle Smith winds up at third base on the play. Another run in for Eastmont. They now lead it 2-0. And bottom of the order here, second baseman Carter Heimbigner.
Great execution again, like I said, by Kyle on that play to get that bunt down.
Defense comes in all the way around trying to keep the run from scoring. The first pitch misses high for a ball. 1-0 the count to Heimbigner, who lined out to center in his first at bat. This pitch is in for a strike, evens the count to Heimbigner at 1 ball and 1 strike.
You know, Carter's a guy that has really good bat control here, so coach is trusting in him that he can get a ball to the outfield to score a run or a hard ground ball through. A lot of people would think, well, why aren't you just bunting here and getting the run? But with the way that he's been swinging the bat this year, that's probably his thought process.
2-1 the count as the pitch is low and in the dirt for a ball. 3-1 now to Heimbigner, so definitely in his favor. Number 9 man in the order for Eastmont as they look to add some more here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Again, scheduled for 7 here in high school baseball. The 3-1 pitch on the way to the plate, swung on a chop to the third baseman, and it goes off of his glove. So safe at first on the bounding play will be Heimbigner. And been a challenging inning here so far for Evan Smith over there on the corner.
Yeah, it seems like when you get one play that you don't make, you make an error on, it's difficult for anybody, let alone high school kids, to wash that out and want to go get the next one.
So runners on the corners here, and back to the top of the order for Eastmont for Tice Llewellyn. Tice 0 for 2 so far with a ground out and a fly out. Heimbigner with speed over there at the bag at first, and the pitch is missing high and away on a fastball. 1-0 the count as Llewellyn squaring around like he wanted a bunt on that one.
Yeah, they could be doing a little safety squeeze on that, where the runner doesn't take off on pitch but sees the down angle and takes the run, because it's a difficult thing to.
He bunts it up the third baseline. That's going to stay fair.
Oh.
No, it hit the grass and then trickled foul. I thought that was going to die for a minute. Skyleman watching it all the way. And then he gets the fortune of the cut of the grass, and it rolls foul. Strike.
Definitely stays fair at Rec Park.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a beautiful bunt. Boy, he just deadened that. We were talking off the air about kind of the lost art of bunting, yeah, especially major league level. But you like to see a good bunt occasionally. This pitch swung on, and the runner from first kind of held up for a moment, and then will make his way the rest of the way. Will Heimbigner. And a count now, a ball and 2 strikes on Tice Llewellyn with runners at second and third now for the Wildcats.
The way that Tice swung at that wasn't his traditional swing. It looked like it was almost a hit and run that that Carter seemingly didn't get, but then he ended up getting it late. So
ball is swung on and fouled off. And so the count remains at 1-2 on Tice Llewellyn here. Eastmont with a run in. Runners at second and third and nobody out. Defense drawn in to try to keep the run from scoring. Pitch to the plate swung on, popped up, and shortstop back it up is Branham, and that ball will go out of his glove, and scampering home from third will be Kyle Smith, and Eastmont now up 3-0.
And, you know, Eric, I think I'm going to call that a base hit because he was going back. I don't think he even made contact with it, but that was a tough play.
And when you're drawn in like that, I mean, the entire defense was a couple of steps in front of the cut on the grass, and then that ball blooped into the gap there behind the shortstop. And, yeah, just trying to go backwards and make the play there. That's absolutely difficult. And, yeah, I'd give him a base hit as well.
Yeah, the people watch Major Leagues and see how easy that play is. That's not
Well,
easy.
especially a ball like that from a left-handed batter that goes to the left side of the infield. It's got English on it as well.
Yep.
So it's not just in the air and just lazily, falling. It's falling at an angle.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, those have so much spin on them, and you're running backwards, your head's bouncing around, you're turning your shoulder or your head over your shoulder, and yeah. Difficult play.
That was my coach in high school. He decided he wanted to, because I had a good arm as a catcher, he wanted to put me in the outfield. But I have the tendency to run on flat-footed. And so any fly ball as you run, if you're flat-footed, moves in the air all over the place.
It's kind of like Joe Skyleman's knuckleball that he's throwing.
Right, exactly. Yeah, your eyeballs bouncing around in your skull. Kind of hard to track the ball. So Valente Barrios will step up and a little move out to the bag at second.
The old wheel play there. Trying to see if they can get the runner there sleeping and see if Valente shows bunt.
Heimbigner out at the bag at second. Llewellyn at first. By the way, give him a base hit to an RBI. This pitch goes all the way to the backstop, and it did foul off of the bunt attempt by Barrios. 0-1 the count.
Yeah, now we see here how Mo is in on the grass, and you got Evan that's playing back. This is why when you got runners on first and second or just a runner on second base, we're going to try and get that bunt down the third baseline to make that third baseman commit. Because if he can commit to the bunt, then
Skyleman off the mound will look at third, drop the baseball. Everybody is safe. I think that's a base hit anyway, because rather than fielder's choice per se, with the look at third base by Skyleman, because that was a beautiful bunt.
That was. Yeah, we talked about this pregame too, about how much Coach Hoff really emphasizes bunting. A lot of his practice is spent bunting and make kids execute before they can move on to other parts.
Jet Llewellyn with 3 ducks on the pond here for the Wildcats, as they have plated 2 in the inning and threatening to do more. The first pitch from Skyler misses outside to Jet, who's 0 for 2 with a couple of ground balls to the shortstop, and Wenatchee would love to get that right here. Pitch on the way is a curveball, missing low for ball 2.
That's a pretty good position for a pitch right there. If you're going to miss anywhere, that's a spot you want to miss.
Heimbigner at third, Llewellyn at second, Barrios at first. And the pitch outside, ball 3. Being very careful with Jet Llewellyn.
But you got Michael coming up next. So
Right. And
got to be careful, but not too careful.
Yeah, no place to put Llewellyn. So he's got to come in here with a pitch over the plate, and he does. Off speed, strike called. 3-1 the count to Llewellyn.
You could see Jet there was no chance that he was swinging at that pitch, given the take probably by Coach Hoff there and saying, hey, make him throw 3 more strikes.
This pitch misses low for ball 4. So give an RBI to Llewellyn as Heimbigner comes home to score. 3 runs in the inning. Tice Llewellyn down to third on the play. Barrios at second. We'll get a courtesy runner coming in.
Jace Travato.
So Travato in to run for Llewellyn at first. And that'll bring up Michael Singleton, who can really put a dent in the scoreboard with one swing of the bat right here.
Yeah, this is a situation here where you see Valente at second base, and he's not getting a real big lead, but there's nothing really holding him from getting a big lead here. If I was coaching, I would be asking him to get more, get in the back pocket of that shortstop.
Pitch swung on a hit foul up to the third baseline and count 0-2 here quickly on Singleton.
Which that just gives you a better opportunity of scoring on any base hit, because both your shortstop and your second baseman are so far away from the bag.
Sure.
The only person that could be picking you off is the center fielder, which...
Infield pretty much even with the bag all the way around. And an 0-2 count to Singleton. Fastball here, try to get him to chase one out of the zone. 1-2 the count here to Michael Singleton.
Nice
swing and a foul tip into the glove, and a nice pitch by Skyleman. James Baxter does a good job or Butler of holding on to it. So the first out is a strikeout, and that'll bring up right fielder Skylar Bryant.
That was a big strikeout for Joe right there. It's got to give him a ton of confidence right now, especially after...
Pitch swung on and hit in the air to shallow right field. Coming in, right fielder Matt Butler will make the catch, and not deep enough for the runner to tag and score from third. So another big out for Wenatchee defensively. The 8th man to come to the plate here in the frame, and that'll bring up left fielder Kellen Leonard. Leonard 0 for the day so far. A couple of strikeouts, one swinging and one looking. Steps up here, and the pitch swung on a hit to the second baseman, and down to a knee to field and throw. Connor Christensen will make the outs. And those are some pretty big outs in a row right there for the Wenatchee defense. 3 runs come in, and it is a 4-0 ball game as we head to the 6th. You're watching Big 9 Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine in style at Highlander Bar and Grill, located in East Wenatchee. Highlander Golf Course has added 2 state-of-the-art full-swing simulators. Food and drink service is available from our full-service bar and grill, offering breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Indoor and outdoor seating available. Call Shalane, our on-site coordinator, to schedule your special event.
The agents of Kennedy Real Estate Group are committed to providing the ideal client experience. We believe in the power of relationships. Why? Because we don't just work here, we live here. From the nonprofits we serve, the parks where we play, and the local businesses we support, our team understands the value of living in the Wenatchee Valley. Let's begin your real estate story.
Our broadcast of Big 9 Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel brought to you in part by Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, providing heating and air conditioning service and installation since 1982. Serving residential and commercial, they specialize in indoor air quality, installation, service, and repair at Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning. So here we go to the 6th. Thomas Ivy will lead it off, number 9 hitter for Wenatchee, as they're in a 4-0 hole now, and the first pitch is a check swing. And they're going to appeal down to the first base umpire, who says, nope, didn't go. Want to know the count to Thomas, who is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Colin Babst, in fact, that's Colin's only strikeout of the game. No, 2 strikeouts, that's right. And the pitch here swung on a foul back. The count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. It's got to give Colin a lot of confidence on the mound here for Eastmont after his offense gives him 3 spots in the last frame.
Yes. Pitching with a 4-run lead in comparison to a 1-run lead is a lot easier to do.
Well, a leadoff single here for Thomas Ivy will be only the 2nd hit of the game for Wenatchee, but they get the leadoff man aboard and back to the top of the order, so they'll turn it around here, and that'll bring up first baseman Moses Cox.
That was a hard hit ground ball. Good effort by Tice on that.
Shortstop Tice Llewellyn diving to his left. Here's a pickoff move by Babst. Cox is 1 for 2. He's got the other base hit for Wenatchee in the first inning. Struck out in the third. Pitch swung on and hit on a hop to the third baseman. They'll go to second for 1. Relay to first. Dug out nicely by Luke Gale at first base to get the twin killing.
That was a great pick over there by Luke. And quick hands by Michael and Carter on that. That was a well.
Well, that goes back to that home field advantage where you're used to fielding these ground balls here in the infield, because this is where you practice, this is where you play. And nice start to the double play by Michael Singleton at third base. Ben Kennedy takes ball 1 outside, as there's now 2 outs here in the 6th inning. The 1-0 pitch swung on, and a fly ball to left field. Backing up a little is Kellen Leonard.
That ball carried a little bit,
yeah,
didn't it?
He will make the catch for the out, and that's a quick 6th for Wenatchee, as we'll head to the bottom of the 6th with Eastmont on top 4-0. You're watching Big 9 Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
During our spring tire sale, we watch out for your wallet too. Save up to $175 when you buy select tires with financing. Les Schwab Tires.
The newest generation of GMC Sierra pickups offer the most advanced technology, the strongest selection of powertrains, and everything else you need to work hard, play hard, and explore the boundaries of the Wenatchee Valley and beyond. Take a look at the latest, most luxurious and durable trucks on the market.
You will see why GMC is not your grandfather's pickup.
You want to bet, kid?
Welcome back here to Dan White Field as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. We've got a new pitcher on the mound here for the Wenatchee Panthers. Garrett Anderson takes over for Joe Skyleman. Skyleman goes 5, gives up 4 runs on 5 hits. I think only one of those runs was earned.
I agree with you.
And let's see, what was the strikeout total for?
He had 5 strikeouts and 1 walk,
Just 1 walk, and that was in that last frame. So here we go to the bottom of the 5th. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Global Car Care. Your vehicle is their #1 priority. Diesels and European cars are their specialty. Pick up and drop off available too. Stop by their website at globalcarcare.net. Also by Harvest Valley Pest Control, living healthy, local, and pest-free. You can rest assured that Harvest Valley Pest Control uses kid and pet-safe material around your home or office. Call Harvest Valley Pest Control today for your free estimate at 509-423-2207. So you're just telling me during the break that young Mr. Anderson taking over on the mound here?
Yeah. So his dad and I got together during COVID and coached a bunch of these kids. So got to coach him and Brock and Thomas Ivy and a lot of the Eastmont kids as well. So it was a good to get to know the kids from the other side of the river.
Luke Gale steps up to lead it off. He'll swing at the first pitch, and on 2 hops goes to Evan Smith's glove, and he'll throw over in time, and you got to feel good for Evan there on that play at third base. It was an adventure in that 5th inning, that's for sure.
Yeah, sometimes it takes 1 to get you out of it and 1 to get you back in. So hopefully for his sake, he's back in it.
And that's so true. It seems in baseball maybe more so than some of the other sports, but you have to have amnesia. You just have to be able to forget it. As soon as it happens, nope, it's gone.
Yeah.
But it is so easy to say, hard to do.
Yeah, easier said than done for sure.
Kyle Smith steps up here. He is got a base hit and got aboard and scored on an error in the 5th inning. That 3-run fifth for Eastmont. That could have been a much bigger inning, but Joe Skyleman did a great job getting out of it. This pitch is in there for a strike, 1-1 the count. And as Garrett Anderson takes over, you said that his dad is not anywhere close to be able to watch what's going on?
No, he's over across the pond right now. I asked him if he was going to be listening to the broadcast, and he says it's 2 o'clock in the morning. So
this pitch swung on, it hit well to center field. That's going to go all the way over Ben Kennedy's head. Rounding first, heading for second, Kyle Smith will have his second hit of the game, and this one's a double.
Yeah, Kyle, coming into today, I don't think he had an at-bat this year, so he's really making the most of his time.
Nice debut at the plate.
Right.
That's for sure.
You know, a lot of times people talk about, well, yeah, I only got one chance. Well, sometimes that's all you're going to get is one chance, and you got to make the coach realize that,
hey, maybe I should have him in the lineup a little more often.
Right.
This pitch swung on and hit foul. And a long run attempt by Thomas Ivy down the left field line, but it's a long strike to Carter Heimbigner, 0-1 the count.
Yeah, and it's not a personal thing against coach. It's just like, hey, you know what? I think I should have been here.
Sure.
And let me show you what I can do.
Well, and that's about being consistent, too. That's coming to practice and trying your hind end off in practice and playing hard and being a good team guy and things like that. And then maybe you'll get that chance.
Right. Yep.
Heimbigner tried to call timeout, didn't get it from the home plate umpire, and the pitch is taken for a ball. 1-1 the count to Carter.
You know, oftentimes people don't know who was the first baseman before Lou Gehrig got it, but it's Wally Pipp. And so baseball coaches, we call that getting Wally Pipped when a guy doesn't show up for whatever reason on a day and the guy comes out and one-ups you. And, well, Lou Gehrig played for how many games consecutively? I think it was 2,000 games consecutively.
Right. And finally just pulled himself out.
Right, yeah.
He could have kept going.
Yeah.
Little discussion between Anderson and his catcher to make sure they're on the same page here with a runner out at second base. And the pitch swung on a chop back over the mound to the right, and right there is our second baseman, Connor Christensen. He'll throw in time to get the out. Meanwhile, down to third goes Kyle Smith on the play. So 2 down here for Eastmont in the 6th, and back to the top of the order for Tice Llewellyn.
Yeah, Garrett's definitely showing a lot different than what Joe did. He doesn't have the velocity, but he spots up his pitches, and he'll throw a knuckleball here every now and then too, and it's a difficult pitch to hit.
Beautiful. I don't know if you call that a changeup, but boy, that was a nice pitch there, right down the middle. 0-1 the count to Tice Llewellyn. As Garrett Anderson works with a runner at third base, the next pitch misses high for a ball. 1-1 to count.
There was that knuckleball that I was talking about.
That's fun to see.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to know where that influence is coming from.
I think it's just kids trying to have fun.
Yeah,
you know, like, oh, hey, look how.
Yeah, warm up tosses. Hey, listen, I'm going to try this.
Yeah,
yeah. But that's when it happens. I've done that myself.
Whoa, what'd I just do?
2-1 to count to Llewellyn here, and the pitch on the way misses away for ball 3. We're in the top of the 6th, or bottom of the 6th, I should say. It's a 4-0 ball game. Eastmont on top, as they scored 1 in the 4th, added 3 more in the 5th. Trying to bounce back after a loss on Tuesday night. This pitch popped up, foul territory, and tough play for the catcher.
That's got to be the third baseman's ball there.
Yeah.
You know, catcher's wearing a pancake on his hand and running away from the ball,
and that ball's got English on it, and
it always flows to the outside.
Right.
So, and we got that little bit of breeze up there too.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So full count now to Llewellyn, and the pitch is inside for ball 4. Almost hit him.
He wanted that pitch, though, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
I think James wanted it, too, behind the plate there.
So runners on the corners now with 2 down, and that'll bring up Valente Barrios. Valente is 1 for 2 in the game. He walked in the first, struck out in the 4th, and singled in his last at bat in the 5th. See if the runner from first will go towards second. He holds. The pitch swung on and hit in the air. Shallow right field, long run, and the second baseman not going to be able to get to it, and a run's going to score on the RBI bloop single by Barrios.
Again, that's a situation there where our outfielder's coming in, needs to call off the second baseman. That's we had that situation in earlier in the game where Brandon was going out to make that play, and we talked about the difficulties of that. And a guy coming in to catch a ball is a lot easier than a guy going out on it.
Llewellyn winds up down at third base. I should say Tice ends up at third base as Jet Llewellyn steps to the plate here with another run in for Eastmont. They lead at 5-0 now. This pitch is a strike on the outside corner. Good pitch there from Anderson. 0-1 the count to Jet Llewellyn with runners again on the corners here for Eastmont.
And, putting up that fifth run right there for Eastmont's a big thing because now Grand Slam doesn't beat you.
Right. Pitch to the plate is high and outside, and indifference on Barrios scampering down to second.
And it doesn't even put you into extra innings. You still got one more.
Right. Yeah, so you feel real good about 5 on the scoreboard. 1-1 the count. Pitch swung on and fouled back, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. And I heard some of the teammates of Jet in the dugout kind of
razzing him a
little bit about missing that pitch. Llewellyn back in the right-handed batter's box, and Anderson ready with the 1-2 pitch. On the way to the plate, swung on, and a fly ball to right field, this time right at Matt Butler.
And there was that knuckleball right there that got him.
And that'll do it, but not before Eastmont adds another. They get a run on a couple of base hits. One man is left. We'll head to the 7th frame. Last chance for Wenatchee as they trail at 5-0. You're watching Big 9 Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Hey man, how's your arm?
Getting better, actually, thanks.
Did they give you anything for pain after surgery? Because I think I may have some left over.
Nah, that's all right, man. Actually, me and my doctor talked about not sharing prescriptions, and that ibuprofen's a good option for me. The risk of addiction, it's not worth it.
Makes sense.
Take the next step. Don't share your prescriptions, and talk to your friends about the dangers of opioids.
You're watching Big 9 Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel, brought to you in part by Highlander Golf Course and Grill. Plan your next tournament and event today. Call the Pro Shop to schedule your time in their full swing S4 widescreen golf simulators at 509-884-4653. Also by Kennedy Real Estate Group. They're more than selling houses, they're building communities. Buying or selling? Call the Kennedy Real Estate Group today. Find them online at KENADYgroup.com. James Butler going to try to start a rally here for Wenatchee as they trail at 5-0 in the top of the 7th. And the first pitch by Colin Babst is in there for a strike. 0-1 to count to Butler. Butler 0 for 2 so far. Hit into a fielder's choice of the first and lined out to left in his last at bat. This one is hit in the air and nobody can find it. Then finally Barrios will come up with it. Skylar Bryant out there right field took his hat off, went, I have no idea where that ball is.
Or maybe it's just giving a tribute to Colin.
Oh, sure, that could be. That could be. So one out here in the 7th brings up Connor Christensen. Christensen 0 for 2 so far. They've done a good job pitching to Christensen so far in this game. Has Colin Babst and a curveball in here for a strike. 0-1 to count.
He's had good command of all of his pitches.
He really has.
Has yet to walk a guy in the game. And
good outing for Colin Babst. The 0-1 pitch is a strike called. Yeah, the count goes to 0-2. Christensen kind of looks over to his dugout and went, okay. If you say so, Mr. Umpire. The 0-2 pitch swung on and hit fouled on the right field line. This one might curve back fair, and it does. Rounding first and holding there on a one-out single is Connor Christensen. On just the third hit of the day off of Colin Babst.
Yeah, and that ball was seeing eye dog right there.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and Skylar Bryant was playing well off the line down the right field line, so that's a tough one for him to try to get to. So 1 on, 1 out, and Evan Smith swings and misses. He was trying to go for where the Arborvitae used to be, beyond the left field wall there. 0-1 the count to Smith here, who is looking for his first safe hit of the day. This pitch swung on a hit hard. Look out, Coach. Holy cow. The count now 0-2 is Josh Irvin, the head coach for Wenatchee, in the third base coach's box. A little dance step over there.
Yeah, when we took out those junipers across that hill, oh, man.
Strike 3 called. What a beautiful pitch by Babst. 2 down here in the 7th. He's trying to wrap it up himself here.
What a nice day that was. We talked about this in the last game when we were broadcasting together with the number of balls that we go through.
This pitch swung on and kind of eats up the third baseman. Shortstop is there, and the throw across. Nice job by Llewellyn to back up Singleton as that ball just kind of ate him up. Llewellyn comes up with the ball, throws over the first, not in time. I give that a base hit on a little help from the field there, Coach. Or you're going to call that an error?
As a coach and as a former pitcher, I'm going to give that an error.
Okay. First pitch here to Matt Butler is a strike, 0-1 the count. So they will say E5. In fact, the scoreboard also registering the error there. And this pitch misses just low. Goodness. Evens the count to Butler, a 1-1 strike. Butler 0 for. He's got a couple of fly out to center and a pop out to the first baseman. 1-1 pitch here, swung on a miss. So Wenatchee down to their final strike.
That was a late breaking slider right there, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Colin Babst on top of the game right now for Eastmont. Has done well. 3 strikeouts in the ball game. Runner at first with the lead, runner at second with the lead. The ball is grounded to the third baseman. He'll go the short route to second, and that'll be it, as the fielder's choice will end the ball game here. And Eastmont hosts the win by a final of 5-0. And the big inning in the game was that 3 spot for the Wildcats in the 5th. So the win goes to Colin Babst. He goes a complete game, 7 innings. Gave up just the 4 base hits and not a run to show for it. An impressive outing for Colin Babst here this afternoon. Meanwhile, the hitting star for Eastmont offensively, well, they got some help from some fielding issues. Double for Kyle Smith. He scored a couple of runs for the Wildcats. Also, a couple of base hits for Valente Barrios. And that sounds like it might be my truck with the truck alarm going off right now. So that'll do it for our first game of the doubleheader as Eastmont gets the win 5-0 over Wenatchee. We will take a break and come back. We'll get you game 2 coming up here on the NCWLIFE Channel. Thanks for watching tonight's live coverage of local high school sports on the NCWLIFE Channel, your local TV station. Tonight's broadcast has been brought to you by Abby's Pizza, Biosports Physical Therapy, Clean Connection, Coldwell Banker Cascade, Confluence Health, Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, Global Car Care, Harvest Valley Pest Control, Highlander Golf Course and Grill, Kennedy Real Estate Group, Les Schwab, Sangster Motors, Save Mart, and Together for Youth. This has been a special presentation of NCWLIFE Channel Sports. We now return you to normal programming already in progress.